Only one kid in history had ever attempted what Benny was about to. And he got eaten. So we were worried. Real worried. Even when Benny brought out the secret weapon. Shoes guaranteed to make a kid run faster and jump higher. PF Flyers.
We can't let him do this, man.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Slate Lace Podcast. It's Wednesday, so you know it's time for another episode. Happy Hump Day. Mm-hmm. All that good stuff. We know you're probably struggling through this week, but we're here to get you through it. So today is another film episode. Did we do a trailer reaction to the one we're about to? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Because even I didn't see the trailer to this.
I don't know what we reacted to. What did we react to?
No. We reacted to the Shia LaBeouf one.
Ah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one where we thought it was going to be like some courtroom case or something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
We're going to have another trailer reaction at the end of this one, but today we are talking Sylvie's Love. It is a relatively new Amazon Prime movie. I think it's been out for at least a month now.
Okay.
But I'll get into the initial thoughts in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I want to give you guys a quick synopsis. When a young woman meets an aspiring saxophonist in her father's record shop in 1950s Harlem, their love ignites a sweeping romance that transcends changing time, geography, and professional success.
Not that much time.
Well, that's in the synopsis, so. But it was. It did, they showed 5 years later. That's time.
Yeah, barely. Not much time.
That's still time.
Okay.
So the movie stars Tessa Thompson, Nnamdi Asomugha. Asomugha.
You know, he used to play for the Raiders. That's the only reason why I know his first and last name like that.
First of all, I think somebody pronounced it wrong too because I was looking up the pronunciation, so it might be some mixed.
Yeah, because he's like African.
Yeah, so it might be some mixed pronunciations. He's just not correcting people.
Mine's
Are you sure?
Mine's 100% legit.
All
right, Dad?
It's not his Raider gang.
Dad
okay.
knows too.
Got you.
That's legit. That's the last name. Mm-hmm.
So it's also starring, obviously Tessa Thompson, but Jemima Kirk, Eva Longoria, Aja Naomi King, and I believe there was one more.
I didn't know none of them.
Tone Bell. You got to brush up on
No,
your actors.
I knew Tessa though.
This was a cold cast.
Yeah.
Jemima Kirk, girls. Tone Bell's been in like a lot of supporting roles, but Aja Naomi King is from How to Get Away with Murder. Look, you just Eva Longoria. You don't know Eva Longoria?
Where was she?
Oh my god.
Oh, dang, that's her, huh?
Blair.
That's her. I didn't even.
You don't
Dang,
know.
it didn't even register
That's
to me
sad.
that was her.
That's really sad for a aspiring filmmaker.
I love the art. That's all that matters to me. It's not necessarily like the people that play it. Man.
But anyways, let's get into some initial thoughts. I'll start. I saw this movie. I follow Tessa Thompson on Instagram, so of course I heard of this movie. And I was interested. Tessa Thompson, I like her as an actress. So I'm like, all right, I typically see things that she's in, but this one didn't grab me. As you guys know, I've said it 1,000 times, like I'm not really a period piece fan. So that was some of it. But I was like, I'll get around to it. It's not something that I was just rushing to see,
Oh, I know you wouldn't.
So, but it was definitely something that I wanted to see. It's just like, when I get around to it. And then it was really getting hyped up on social media. People was like, this is lit. Yeah.
Okay.
People was like, it was lit. All that good stuff. I think it's getting some Golden Globe noms right now. So, I mean, this is after seeing it that I heard about the Golden Globe noms. I still hadn't seen it. But initially, it was getting a lot of hype on social media. And people were like, you got to check it out. And I was like, I'll get there. Your initial thoughts, though?
I only had what Mom told me about it. And
that too, yeah.
Yeah, and then Mom was just like, it's a movie you're gonna like, so you gotta watch it. And then she was like, you should review it. And then I was like, I mean, I'm down, but it's up to Sydney. If Sydney don't want to review it, we not gonna review it because she don't do those type of movies. I was like, me, I'll sit down and watch pretty much anything, especially if it fits a certain vibe, which obviously this film did do. I was definitely gonna watch this without a doubt. And then I think when
you
she
hadn't
just
even heard of it until she was telling you gonna watch it.
no. I'm saying like once she basically told me then I was like, oh yeah, then this is obviously I will sit down and watch it. And now here's the thing, right? I mean, I'm not necessarily paying attention to films that are coming out in the year, but once it always gets around to Oscar time, then I am trying to make sure that I see that see everything that's in the running. So if this movie was
get an Oscar, don't know.
Well, no, I'm saying that I know,
okay.
but I'm saying that so that if it was around Oscar time and this film was being discussed, then obviously it would be on my list of like, dang, okay, then I gotta watch it. Let me see what the people are talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that. But So initially, obviously, I didn't have any initial thoughts other than, okay, well, let's see what it's about. My mom said it was kind of good, and she thought I would like it. So that was pretty much all I had to go off of. And then I sat down and watched. But again, I did know the time period that it was in, and then, yeah.
Yeah. So kind of the same thing. Well, maybe not. You kind of were influenced to see it, and I just kind of, was following it on social media, and was planning on getting around to it.
But that's fair though, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even have heard of the film.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, that's the initial thoughts. Let's get into. Let's start with the good first. Where did this film succeed for you?
I do think.
Okay, what's with the jokes?
No, there's no jokes. It's just that you already know. The music was on point. Yeah, the cinematography was on point. I mean, just from the opening shot when they showed New York at a distance. I'm not sure where it was because I'm not like a New York native.
They're in Harlem. They're in Harlem.
No. I know they're in Harlem, but I don't know where that opening shot was. Basically, where they were when he was waiting, or where she was waiting for her to watch Nancy Wilson.
I'm assuming it's gonna be in the hometown, but
okay, so whatever. So if that's basically downtown Harlem, that overview shot of it, I was like, dang, that really is a mood right there. I was like, man, that just don't that feel like 1950s, but in color, seeing the cars. Just like the grainy footage. I was like, I like that, and then the music started playing. I was like, dang, I really do like that. And then I'm already knowing it's Nancy Wilson before they show it on the marquee or whatever. So, I mean, just really the mood was on point. So I was already, enjoying that. Was enjoying the music. I was enjoying the dialogue. Kind of just seeing what was going on within the time period. I'm already familiar with the time period and what was going on, but just their representation of it, seeing what ended up being centered around it, because obviously we know that there was big things that were happening in that time period. And I want to see if they go ahead and acknowledge if that's what's going on at that time. So yeah, there was, just like a lot of good little things like that were going on. I was curious to see how Nnamdi was going to be as an actor because I hadn't, I believe this is his first film. No, he's been in other films before. He's been
in, smaller roles. And then he's mainly done like a lot of theater stuff.
Weird. Okay.
I mean, your boy Nnamdi like that.
No, I'm not even trying to play him, but I know his wife is in movies.
Yeah.
She's in like big time movies. I can't think of her name right now, but she's there we go, bam. But she's big, right? Like that's huge. And then they obviously got the kids together. Shout out to them. But so I hadn't seen him in films before. I was curious to see how he was gonna be. He was decent. He was
good.
He didn't really have much. He didn't really have a lot of emotion. He didn't bring out a lot of emotion within the character, I feel like. But then at the same time, right, like what if he just is kind of like a stoic character? That was how it was built to be. Yeah. I just felt like, he but again, that we're talking about positive right now. So I mean, you already know how I feel about
you like the vibe of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I could watch it again,
I agree with you on the vibe. They definitely made it for a positive. You felt it was 1950s Harlem. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not a New Yorker. I don't do New York. I'm Cali all day.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Cali.
But yeah, I assume that's was the vibe at the time. Mm-hmm. Even from the little things like the credits rolling up at the beginning, going Tessa Thompson as Sylvie. Namdi as so and so. Like they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, no, they
now
don't.
we just say the the actor's name. So that was kind of interesting. I noticed that right after. I'm like, oh, they going with the old school credits too.
Yeah, that was like vintage Hollywood.
Yep. So all that kind of stuff, those little details, wardrobe, obviously setting, all that stuff, they made you feel that 1950s feel. So I agree with you on that. But I also like the storyline, the depiction of love, or forbidden love, so to speak. Where two people, you're not supposed to be together, but that attraction is there for them, and it just keeps drawing them closer and closer to each other. So I like the kind of forbidden love story, so to speak, aspect to the whole film. And then just kind of how it, like the synopsis said, like spans the test of time. I like that as well.
I mean, not much time, but yeah.
So we see them grow apart, come back together, all that good stuff. We're not here to spoil it for you guys, but I do like the fact that
but there
it's
still
a love
is
story over a period of time.
There's a romance format,
Yeah.
So if people know the format, that they already know they're going to lose each other at some point in time.
Yeah, but that's what I like. It's just the whole love going across the span of time aspect to the film. And then it was decently entertaining. So that was pretty much the positives for me.
I mean, it was more than decently entertaining, but yeah,
that was the positives for me. Is just more of the time period aspect to it. Not the time period piece, because I don't like that, but the fact that they made it feel like you were in the 50s. And then I guess there's the love story.
Yeah.
Negatives, Blair, the good, the bad, the ugly. Where they go wrong?
It's not really like too negative to me, just because like I said, I feel like it was maybe supposed to be part of the character, but I just felt like there was times where he didn't bring out emotion. Like, and I'm not saying that men cry or men don't cry. We never really had that in the film, and there was a lot of emotional moments where you felt like maybe a tear or two would be okay, would be acceptable. But then at the same time, I think about myself, and if I'm in that situation, I'm probably not crying either. So it's like I can see why his character is the way that it is, but at the same time, I'm just wondering, is it because he's not as developed enough as an actor to be able to bring out ranges of emotion? But again, at the same time, I did like the character. I was just saying, like, I feel like if there's a slight, I'm going to have that slight. And then that's pretty much it. I did enjoy the film, and you knew this was coming. We didn't even discuss it, but I'm sure you knew sitting down that I would have enjoyed this film.
I think you would enjoy the music aspect, and then the fact that it's in the 50s, but I didn't know about it as a whole.
You didn't think I would enjoy it as a whole?
I think you thought it was just all right.
Yeah. No.
I don't know if it's like lit. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not lit like all time lit. You know what I mean? It's not up there, but I do think it is a film that is that has replay value. And there's a lot of films out there that don't necessarily have replay value. You know what I mean? You sit down, you watch it one time, and you may never turn it on again. But this is one of the films that I do feel like.
No, I forgot a positive. I don't even know how I forgot this.
Oh, okay. Well,
finish yours.
Finish yours. But this is one of those. Those are one of the type of films that I feel like you can just sit down, boom, and you can just be cleaning the house, and listening. You can, maybe say a couple lines here and there, find yourself reciting it, thinking about it. I do think. It did have that going for it. So for me, it just wasn't really too many negatives. Obviously, I was like disappointed in character choices again, just like I had with the last film we reviewed. I'm like looking at Namdi like as a whole, and I'm just like, really, like that was what we thought was the best move was, But yeah, I didn't have too
many negatives.
Yeah. They even could have picked it up faster than they picked it up too.
A little bit. They could have.
I would say that.
You could have rolled on through some of that.
Yeah. But
I get it. You don't want to be cutting your favorite scene as a director. I get you. So that,
especially because he wrote and directed it himself. So you just like kind of fall in love with your script.
Gene Ash, I believe his name is. Yeah. I get you. I don't know how I forgot this. But a huge positive for me was the fact that Tessa Thompson's character wanted to be in the film industry.
The hair was terrible too.
The hair, her wig.
Whew. Yeah, that was brutal.
I don't know if there's a movie where we see, probably, but seeing a black woman get into a film industry, starting off as a secretary, this is 1950s, this is unheard of.
It was like 62 at that point.
Yeah, she even mentions it. So an industry that we're both interested in, and seeing that conveyed on the film, like, is kind of cool. Seeing how they did stuff behind the scenes, production wise, in 1950s, like with the cooking show and stuff like that, was very unique. So I love that storyline, that she was like an aspiring like TV producer. Like, that's kind of dope. I don't know how I forgot that. That was like one of my main points.
I mean, if you're trying to go deep like that, there's more that I can obviously say. I didn't
positives?
know
if you want to go there, go
I didn't know
say
if
your
it
piece.
was just like surface level, Well, no, I'm just saying. Sometimes you be like, oh, Blair, we not going like that. So, anyways. I do like, again, the relationship between the two of them. And again, within the time period, there's like a lot of stuff that's like not supposed to be talked about, obviously there's the whole, the pregnancy thing. Like, obviously I don't want to go too deep into it, because obviously we do want people to see it and not be spoiled, and I'm not sure like what they're already supposed to know going into that film. But like, even just that right there, that's like a big no-no. At that point in time, like, anytime you're pregnant, right? Like, you're supposed to be with the person that like you're pregnant with or whatever. And then the fact that like she even has like the awareness where she's like, I know he's like chasing a dream, and I don't really want to like ruin his dream chasing, because what if I'm here and I'm stunting his growth? Not realizing that like the two are meant to be together and grow together, and like sprout like that. I really did enjoy that aspect of it. And then I did enjoy that, like, for me, I don't know if you felt this way, but her dad was basically Namdi. Like, Namdi was was the younger version of her father, because he had the same thing. He loved the music, and nothing ever came of his music career. Yeah. So he basically just opens up this music store, this record store, and does stuff there. And, again, like, someone comes in and he probably talks about it like, man, back in the day, I used to play the sax and this, and that, right? So it was like he was basically talking to the younger version of him. And then I think that the two of them sort of realize it, which is why like that phone call at the end is made to Namdi, because again, she's headstrong, whatever. We're not going into that. But I think that they kind of just see that relationship in one another, where it's like, dang, I think we kind of are the same thing. And then I think that once the film unfolds, it becomes clear to all of us that they kind of are that, and so I think that it ends up being a lot on him, like mentally in a way, which is why you kind of see some of the decisions in which he makes, and you become disappointed in. But I think like ultimately, she just realizes so much. Again, I don't want to say too much, but she just like realizes so much, and it's like them needing to be together, that she's gone through too much. And like for her, life is just, if they're together, life is better no matter what happens. And then I really do, like you said, I love that positive. I love that positive of like, we're going to sit here and we're going to show black people succeed, even if it was like 60 years ago. And the success rate at that time is like is minimal, So I really do appreciate them showing that, and like creating this strong, driven woman that can still have like a soft side to her, And like a lot of things that did play up in this film is like she was not your traditional wife. Remember, like they had the marriage that she was currently in. He was trying to get her to be the housewife that you see on TV, the Julia Childs cooking and this and that, right? And she's trying to play that, but she's not happy with that, because she just wants to be so much more and do so much more. And that time period, right? Like you're supposed to sit here and you're supposed to be like, nope, this is the role that you play, because this is how like houses are supposed to be run. And if you want to have a successful family, someone has to play that role. And so, I really do like that they showed it, and that she was basically all the way against it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Those are good points. Definitely a lot of, positives in those. But just as there's positives, there are some negatives. For me, there was a lot of themes that were underdeveloped.
Okay,
So
like what?
if we're gonna touch on the racism, touch on it all the way. There was cases where, she's having a conversation with her husband about, like so-and-so are bigots. Then her cousin's involved in the civil rights movement, but I wish they would have fleshed that out a little more. Because during this time, it's not a great time for black people. And then also, all of a sudden, we just see her rise as a TV producer. Like, she really just walked into the interview, kind of got the role, and continued from there. I would like to have seen some of the struggle she would have to go through as being not only a woman, but a black woman. Because to me, like, I know that's not what the story was about.
Right,
so I
it
guess
was
that's
about the romance.
That's
and
what the filmmaker was going for, but leave it out then. Because I felt like there was times we touched on it. Oh, I'm going to the march. You should really come down to the march. And it's like, okay, so are we going to do it or are we not going to do it? So to me, there was like a little bit, I don't even know if it's a plot hole. It's definitely not a plot hole, but themes that were underdeveloped. Other than that, I mean, like Blair said, there wasn't a lot of negatives to it. Was I riveted by the movie? Absolutely not. But it was decent enough and it was entertaining. And that was it for me. So I guess a negative would be, the underdeveloped themes of racism, sexism, which I wish they would have done more of. Because you can even see that with the band and how this white woman is taking over. And she's kind of like, in a way, that's kind of like a slave master type deal that they got going on. So you can even spun it that way.
Yeah, but again, she also was that white girl that really loves black people too.
That's one of my favorite actresses, by the way.
Who is she?
Jemima Kirk. I told you in the beginning, girls.
Oh, right. Got you. Okay, keep going.
But anyways, I'll sit here and complain. I don't like slave movies. I don't like.
You do. You don't. Yeah. You ain't
prejudice
watching
movies.
Harriet. You ain't watching none of that.
Yeah. So it's weird that I am complaining that this theme was underdeveloped. But it's just, to me, like, they sprinkled it on, but didn't go anywhere with it. So yeah, I mean, I'd rather you guys just leave it all out. But so underdeveloped themes, and then there's no real wow factor. Nothing was really like phenomenal about the movie. It was just okay. It was cool.
The camera work was.
Yeah, see, I don't be looking at it from a cinematographer eye. I don't look at films like that. But again, I mean, I give them props for the little pieces that they did in the beginning with the credits and stuff like that and the music. But yeah, it was just no real like wow factor pulling me in. But again, it wasn't terrible.
Right.
Blair, anything else before we slate rate it?
Oh, without a doubt.
Ahead,
Yeah, so to play devil's advocate, right?
Yes.
With what you're saying. So basically, I know what you're saying. I feel it. I'm with it. But at the same time, like, what does the film become if we sit here and we dive down into these holes in these bunkers and we start to uncover these things, right? Like, what happens
Typical
if we
1950s black film?
Well, there's no real typical 1950s black film. It's maybe one
what
or
am
two.
I thinking of? What is that movie we just saw? The James Baldwin one. It was it's like at least 2 years ago. I forget what it is, but it's based on that book. What is that?
Right. But so basically what I'm saying is that changes the whole story and how we look at the film. If we're gonna.
That's my thing. Just take it out.
I know, but hear me out. So if we show her like struggling to get this job and to go through it, what you're taking away from it of the overall film is like the love, the romance, the beauty, the Hollywood, the cinematic, like artistic like masterpiece. Like when you look at like La La Land or this, right? It feels so magical. That's the thing about Hollywood and like vintage films like that is like you watch it and it doesn't feel like real life. That's basically what this type of film is like it's the black version of what like La La Land would be. It has the magical like aura to it. Like when you like look at it, right? Like there's that glow. That's the not really like mystery, but like you just kind of look at it and you're just like, oh wow, it just feels like, it's just like this like magical place that we like kind of want to go to and visit. And that's why everyone's so nostalgic about that time period, because that's basically what Hollywood did such a good job of creating, and so obviously if we're going to sit here and bring into that realism, we're not doing that type of romance film. But I felt like as a viewer, I got that from the beginning. I got that vibe from the beginning. So for me, like, we didn't need to go too far into it, right? Like, for me, for us to dive into it, in that beginning scene, you got to slap us in the mouth with something like heavy, right? Like, we have to see that, okay, they're black and white people do not like them. Like, right off the rip, like, that's what we need to see. But we didn't get that. You know, we got that, like, oh, dang, they ran into each other 5 years later. Like, okay, you know, and here we go. So because they took us that way, they set the tone with that. I didn't expect to get all of that other stuff, but I am in agreement with you. Like, if we're going to go that way, then shoot, let's go that way. You know, let's really do show the struggle. But if you really show that struggle, then there's going to be a huge struggle within that relationship as well. You know, there's going to be a lot of back and forth and definitely up and downs in that relationship. But why I think it worked for me is because he lost her. They had to go through a whole lot to kind of get each other back. They kind of always wanted each other, even though they weren't in each other's lives. And I think what we got from all of that was just enough.
And I think if they would have developed it a little more, it would have been better for the relationship between Tessa Thompson and her husband, because you really would have seen those cracks start to show in that relationship.
But I mean,
you would have really been like, oh, they not.
Yeah, they not built for this.
That would have been cool to just see even more.
But meanwhile, I was saying the same thing about that last film.
They would have. It would have been good to see like the cracks start to show in that, and you would really understood like why. But you know, I mean, that's not what it was about. It's a love story, so I get you. But
it's like Disney, you know.
Let's go ahead and give you these ratings. So, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93%. That's very high for Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Again, I told you the movie was getting hyped, but dang, I didn't know it was getting hyped like that.
Nah, like 99 would be hyped.
93 is very good though. Like, what the heck?
It was a good movie.
What was it that, I don't know, but got like an 86. And it was like won an Oscar. So 93 is like a little kind of weird.
Nah, not really.
It's good.
I think Lady Bird's like 99.
Okay, Lady Bird was good though, but yeah, I wouldn't give it a 99. But beside the point, IMDb
just giving an example
gave it a 6.7.
Yeah, the peoples.
And so yeah, the peeps might be more on point with this one. Blair, let's go to you for the slate rate.
Okay.
1 to 5 entertainment.
That was a 5.
Okay, 1 to 5 on originality.
I'd say like 3.5.
3.5. So obviously you don't have the same feelings as you do with Shoes when it comes to the slate rate.
Wait, why you say that?
Because you say 5s are legendary. This is a legendary.
No. 5. If we talking legendary, then I would be. Hang on, no. Then I'd be. My overall rating would be at like a 9 right now, 9 and up.
It's still looking at it from the entertainment. It was a 5 on entertainment.
I think it was in it. Look, what did I say? What do I like? I like mood. They hit with the mood, right?
So this is legendary. It's cool to admit that it's legendary.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. Because I didn't say it. If it was legendary, I would have gave it a 10 or something like that. I'd have put it in the same boat as, you know, the Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something. But I didn't. But what I'm saying is that for me, if it fit a mood and it did it successfully, you know, within that, it put me in a good mood watching the whole film. And so because it put me in a good mood through the whole film, and I got to sit there and watch jazz, the history of jazz and stuff that I actually listened to, right? Like I'm hearing the music, I'm hearing them talk about the artists, you know, and I know about all of it, right? So I'm in the know with all of the dialogue, right? So for me, I'm having a good time. So I got to give it a 5. I'm going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, it was semi-enjoyable. But you know what's up my alley in movies and type of movies that I watch? Like, nah. So, you know, I also got to be truthful. So, yeah, I give it a 5 on that, you know. It's the same thing with, like, La La Land. I would give that as a 5 as an entertainment, too, as well. You know, just because, again, it's fitting the mood. Successful mood means you get an A on the project, you know.
Okay.
Even if it's not necessarily an A, you know, you executed that well. And I think because it executed it that well, you know, it gets the 5. So if I gotta justify it that way, then we're gonna justify it that way. It gets a A as far as that goes. Now, if you want to make another category, it may get a B or a C in other categories. And then as far as like originality goes, I give it a 3.5 because I think about there's just also not many times that I feel like we just attack black characters and really like kind of go into it and show the romantic side of them and still give it the Hollywood vibe. If we usually give it the Hollywood vibe, it's usually a white cast. And I'm not saying that that's an issue for me, but I'm just saying if that's what they're doing, and then we immediately switch them and show them being black or Asian or whatever, I'm already at least got to give you a point. I got to give you a point for that because you're already attacking something that they traditionally don't. Like I feel like if they were just going ahead and they were pitching this to other studios, they may get told no just off top just because of that. And they're traditionally not, used to seeing that. And then to show the whole like that time frame, and showing it like that, I mean, that's deep. And then I think also because they even stayed away from like showing the struggle of black people. I'm not saying that, we always, cause like we said, we don't always need to see that. Like me and mom have always had discussions where it was just like, why don't we just show black people being normal, like doing normal things, right? Like we go to the store just like everyone else. We watch movies just like everyone else. There's nothing that we don't do that other people don't do. We all are the same, it's just different shades and tones. So because of that, like let's let them live. Let's see them in these elements and act just like everyone else. We don't got to be reminded that I was like, hey, remember Martin Luther King was marching at this point in time. Oh, by the way, Malcolm X gave a speech during the same time that he was going to watch Nancy Wilson. So for me, it was like, cool. We didn't show it. We already knew it. We know enough about black history where it was like, we didn't really need it. At least how I felt. And so that's why, because it did that, it got another nod. And so I gave it 3.5. Obviously I couldn't give it a 5 because it wasn't like Get Out or something where it was just like something we had never seen before. It was romance, but just a slight, you make slight variations to it.
So you got it at the 8.5. So
yes, I do.
You closer with the tomatoers.
I definitely agree with the tomatoers, but like I said, once you reach 9, you basically talking about all times and stuff. And so I'm not saying it's all time romance to me.
Yeah.
But very enjoyable.
1 to 5 on entertainment. I'm going to go, you know what? I'll give it a solid 3. To me, it was just okay. I like romance movies.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I mean, maybe rom-com. Maybe I'll say that. I'm not your typical slow burn romance.
Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own thing that they like. So shout out to everyone that likes what they like.
Yeah, why are you saying that randomly?
I'm not, because I'm saying like I just think about like you sitting here saying rom-com, and it's like if you're gonna put some of the like those like classic cliche rom-coms on the same level of this, I'm just like I don't necessarily agree, but.
No, I'm not putting the other rom-coms on the level of this.
Well, it's getting ready to seem like it with this rating you're getting ready to give. You already gave it a 3.
Yeah, because it was just decently entertaining to me.
So you probably ended it with a 6.
You don't know what I'm about to give it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, because rom-coms have that comedy aspect, and comedy is my favorite genre. Maybe that's why I prefer them a little more. But yeah, this was just all right. And again, I like Tessa Thompson. That's the only reason why I watched this film, to be 100% honest. Like, that was it. I would never watch this movie if it was not for Tessa Thompson being at the lead. I've said this since the dawn of time. I do not watch period pieces. I'm a new school through and through. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I like the tug and pull of the romance. Like, I like the fact that it went over a period of time. I love doing that. I love things that take, I like when they take, which I'm not going to spoil it too much, but it's going to go into the trailer reaction that we have. But I like when, movies take place in one setting or one night over the course of 12 years. And let's not go crazy like, what is it, This Boy's Life or something?
Boyhood.
Yeah, let's not go 70 years. But I like those kind of things. Okay. So that's another reason why this movie is getting a 3. And then just Tessa Thompson is another reason why it's getting a 3. Originality. I really think this movie was original. I don't know. I know there's a couple TV shows of, the film industry or TV production industry in the 1950s, but I like the fact that theme,
like Hollywoodland.
Yeah, Hollywoodland,
well,
and then
40s,
there's also I forget the name, but I like the fact that she was a woman in a male-dominated field at the time, and a black woman at that in TV production. I think that's very unique and original. However, we've seen the forbidden love aspect, so I can't give it too many points for that because has been done before. But on that note, I'm gonna go with originality. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 4 on originality.
You did that just because I said it was gonna be a 3.
No, I had it at 4.5 in my head actually, so I took a point off.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, I can't give it the point for the love story. That's when I took the 0.5 off. Because we've seen that. I mean, we've seen, I'm not supposed to be with you, but I want to be with you. I'm honestly giving it for the TV production aspect of the movie. That is it. We've seen the aspiring musician thing, so I can't give it too much. So honestly, a 4 might be a little high. I see you missed La La Land. But the 4 might be a little high, but I'm going to give it the 7 out of 10. And just say that, check this one out. I also want to say before we close this segment that there might have been a couple spoilers. Minor spoilers may have been revealed.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. If you're listening this far, you already heard it.
Yes,
sorry.
You may have pieced together the movie. We try not to spoil it until we do a deep dive. Honestly, we should have done a deep dive.
I would have been. I would have. Yeah,
not
that'd
this
have been cool with
really?
me.
You think this is deep dive worthy?
Nah, I would have been. I'd had fun with it because I even would have touched on the lady that was doing the home cooking show.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it wasn't deep dive worthy. Maybe Blair should have brought it up a little earlier.
Yeah,
so we
but no. It's cool. But you basically telling me like this is.
What was the movie that we did? It wasn't the last one. What was the last one?
The one with
Woman.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. What was it? What's the name? Wow.
The one with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
Oh, Pieces of a Woman.
Pieces of a Woman. What's the one we did before Pieces of a Woman? Guys, we're not doing good. We don't know.
What about it?
But that was one
I know movies, but I know the ones that we did do. I just don't remember the name. So basically, there's the one that we watched.
That one we should have deep dived. The one before Piece of Woman, because there was a lot of themes in that we could have dug deeper into. Okay. And I meant to say that because we do spoil a little bit on the deep dive, so maybe we'll have one of those in this next film.
But I did want to say though, before we go to this trailer reaction,
now I want to look it up.
Shout out to the Black History Month for you on your screensaver.
I got the young Malcolm X.
Say my screensaver stays static. Exactly whatever it is. Whenever you turn the phone on, that's what my screensaver is. That's it, and it will be like that forever.
What's it called? What's that? You got that generic, huh?
I do.
iPhone generic one.
That's it. That's all it stays. But I was gonna say, so you trying to tell me that this type of movie is on the same level as like You Got Mail, A Walk to Remember, and like all of those?
Because to me, You Got Mail was more entertaining. I did see one thing I'll say is I saw You Got Mail late in life, so I was like, okay, this is corny. But it's more entertaining. Like I would say, what's the one with Jack Nicholson and Diane Keaton?
Oh yeah.
I'll say that one was funny, like, cause it's entertaining. It's on the entertainment. This one I was just like,
wow.
But yeah, I would rate those higher on the entertainment factor. Those would be like 3.54s on the entertainment. Oof. Yeah.
Man,
you're looking at it as an art form. I'm looking at it as what made me laugh. Like that's the difference, 100%.
That is insane. Okay.
What is this? Now I'm just hot, and I want to find this movie that we reviewed.
Man, show me the trailer.
Before Pieces of a Woman.
It's a bunch of Netflix stuff. So the other one we saw was the remake, the Alfred Hitchcock remake, Emma or whatever. No, why am I saying
Rebecca? No,
Rebecca. So we did that one. The other one we did was I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
It wasn't that one.
Okay. Well, I mean, those are the ones that we did.
It might have been.
That's the ones we did recently.
I'm Your Woman was one I thought we could have. You know what? We're just gonna end this segment because I don't know. It wasn't I'm Your Woman, but there was one. It might have been. It
may have been it.
It might have honestly been Pieces of a Woman.
Like.
It might have been Pieces of a Woman that we could have deep dive. Anyways, moving on, guys. We have a trailer reaction here for you, and we are about to do that right now. The movie is the new Netflix movie, Malcolm and Marie, starring John David Washington and Zendaya. It's been getting a lot of hype, and I don't know if that's just because, it's Black History Month and people into John David Washington.
Yeah, but they also been doing that. What's it? What's the other one? Maybe that's what I'm talking about. Hang on, let me watch the trailer and then I'll let you know before I speak on it.
I'm trying to speak too soon. So let's get into this trailer reaction.
You are by far the most excruciating, difficult, stubborn.
There go John David.
My entire life. I fucking love you.
Nah, it's not this.
It's not this one. Netflix. We peep the black and white. Okay. This sound like Blair up Blair's alley again.
Well, I mean, I like the Alabama Shake.
When he's not being an emotional fucking terror.
And they got the music playing for it.
Yep. You don't like the black and white?
It's cool.
It's artsy.
All right.
Sam Levinson, he did Euphoria, so that's how him and Zendaya met, because Zendaya is the star of Euphoria on HBO.
Cutting that butter.
What if factor?
Looks volatile. Looks like something going on. Volatile a little bit.
The
little complicated
temperature was
relationship.
boiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the sound.
Okay.
What has he been in?
John David. He was in Tenet.
Oh, okay.
And I can't think of the other thing, but
so this is Malcolm X or something?
no, this is just.
Oh, his name is Malcolm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So until you're about to lose someone that you finally pay attention.
Cursing going on.
Really? We want to go there.
It's the $1 million question for the whole movie. What do you want?
Not a love story. Sam Levinson letting you know right away.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's a good little shot selection.
That was dope.
So we're gonna get into another love story right after the other. 3 of them in a row, right?
Yeah, you pick
Pieces of a
them.
Woman, Sylvie's Love, and now Malcolm and Marie.
This is 2021, the year of love.
Year of Love. Shout out. Valentine's Day
And
coming
then it
up.
had 3 different frames on that one, and it's 3 different reviews for us.
But this is going to be an interesting movie because when you have it with just 2 characters, you really got to act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to
You
keep
got
us
to bring the
interested.
heat.
But you love this when they go to one place and they stay there.
When it's,
so
I love type of movies like this when it's in one setting, one night. Because I think it's creative, and you have to be creative in movies like this. So Malcolm and Marie, I'm gonna check it out. Look, I'm gonna say it off top because we can go into these reactions, trailer reactions. I'm not gonna like it.
you don't think it's gonna be good?
No.
It looks like
I'm
looks
gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not gonna like this movie, but I'm going to watch it.
it looks subpar. I'll give you that. It just looks subpar.
I'm gonna hate it, but I like the fact that it's one setting, one night. This black and white aspect, it's a little pretentious for me, but I like Sam Levinson. I like what he did with Euphoria. I like Zendaya. What a lot of people are saying is like, okay, this is the girl from Disney Channel. We don't want to see that. Because she's like really, she's not young. She's like 25. But we're so used to her in these kid roles. So we're like, oh, this is disturbing.
Yeah, she's a grown woman.
It's a little
she's
uncomfortable.
Been grown for many of years
Yeah.
now.
It's a little uncomfortable, but she also produced this. So she had a hand in a lot of it.
Shout
out
to
to Zendaya. I like her. I'm a fan. But yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. And John David, he hasn't been in much. But so far I like his acting. I like Tenet was all right.
Tenet was cool.
So yeah, I'm interested in to see where his direction goes and see their chemistry on screen. But I just know I'm not gonna like it. I don't necessarily like the black and white, but again, I love movies. Shout out to
it can
the
be in
Duplass
purple.
brothers.
If it's good, it's good. You said shout out to who?
The Duplass brothers, who kind of excel in that aspect of like making films with minimal characters, minimal setting, and stuff like that. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see how he's gonna pull this off. And again, like I said, when you have 2 characters, you gotta be active.
Yes, you do.
So we'll see. Blair, you think you gonna like it? I think you gonna like it.
No,
I think
it's subpar from just going based off of the trailer. But I do like that they got the main question out there. What is it that you want? But again, that's kind of the question that has to be answered in almost every film. You know what I mean? There's not many films out there where they don't answer what they want, or they're in search of it. Don't
a lot of writers like start with that concept? Like, what is it
it's
gonna
just
be?
like,
what the
bam, what
want?
what is it that they want or need, and let's get it cracking, right?
Yep.
But the one thing that I do like was that one shot choice within the trailer when they break it up into 3 different frames onto the like
fragmentation. What was that? Mise en word.
What?
This from the film class. First of all, me and Dad had the hard one. Blair had the low easy one.
Don't even play with me.
No,
Don't
mine
even play
was
with
rough.
me. Don't play with
Shout
me.
out to CSUN for their
Don't play
cinema
with me.
program because they had me stumped up in class.
Don't play with me. Don't be mad because
they had me
I
stumped
was good
with
at
fragmentation and mise en scène and mise en scene.
That's the only thing I'm good at. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
But yeah, anything else before we wrap?
Yeah,
ahead,
I was
sir.
thinking you were gonna show me the Black Panthers movie.
Oh, we should do that one next, which is
I'm already loving the soundtrack. I've already heard some of the songs that had Dom Kennedy on it, and
which one
rest
are
in
you
peace
talking
Nipsey
about?
Hussle. It was like Judas or something like that.
The Messiah, Judas and the Messiah. So that one we gotta see, but I thought you were talking about One Night in Miami.
Okay. Yeah,
so we
yeah.
got a lot of Black Power.
Yeah,
you know what? We'll do like a Black History Month thing.
Let's do it. You heard it right here. Yeah, I was hearing they already talking about that's gonna get like that's gonna.
Did Judas and the Messiah?
No.
One Night in Miami.
Judas and Messiah is too much for the peoples.
For the peoples.
No, I mean like for the Academy. Mm-hmm. The One Night in the is that's
it's more. It's the white
like,
guilt.
Right.
One thing I'll say about the Judas and Messiah, the Lucas brothers wrote and directed that. 2 identical twin stand-up comedians. I had no idea that they had like this serious artistic side. Like if you've ever seen the Lucas brothers, like they're literally just like smoke weed and do stand-up comedy. I was like, these the same brothers that I've been seeing on like Comedy Central? Yeah, I'm like, dang, they did a masterpiece. Who they are. But yeah, Blair's got to just up his game.
No, I don't watch comedy. You already know that.
But still, either way, they're making films, so you got to keep an eye out. But I was like so shocked. I was like, the Lucas brothers, they did that? Like, so I guess they had this project in mind for a long time. And maybe, some people use comedy or different avenues to get their way into the industry. Like, that's kind of smart of them. So,
yeah, because
Jordan
Peele was doing it. So.
Exactly. So shout out to the Lucas brothers. Let me get into an open mic and do some comedy and get this film thing cracking.
That's how it's got to go.
Exactly. But anyways, on that note, guys, we got a lot of good films coming. In 2 weeks, we'll review Malcolm and Marie. And then, we'll hop into some more Black films. Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't know if that's the title. Sorry for butchering that. And One Night in Miami. Also,
I think it was Judas and Messiah. Something like you may have been right, actually.
But yeah, those will be what we are watching next. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram @SlateLace. It is the Slate Lace Gang. We are out of here.